Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back, Droid Life Show. Today, episode 219. It is Friday, November 15th. I'm Reels Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim, say hi.
Hi guys, how's it going? Tim here for Droid Life. Thank you for tuning in.
So, a fun show today. Lots of, kind of exciting throwback in a way news on multiple levels. Like, there's a foldable Motorola Razr. The Motorola Razr is officially back. But we're also getting, Disney Plus, which is in a way sort of a throwback because now you can subscribe and get all of the old movies from Disney and shows and things like that. There's some other stuff too. RCS is on the way. It's here. We got Stadia news, some other Google stuff. Not a ton of topics, but good topics, I will say. And for those who were on the show last week, you notice I'm looking this way now. Like Tim, you guys, we took your guys' recommendation. Now it looks like I'm looking at Tim, even though I don't know.
Hello, friend.
Hello. So outside of topics, as we do with every DL show, trivia at the end of the show. So if you're new around here, 5 questions at the end of the show, and we'll reward 5 people with prizes. And this week, Anchor is sponsoring the show. You guys know Anchor. They make all sorts of accessories, from chargers to Bluetooth speakers to earbuds to what else do they make? They have like that Nebula capsule line, I think. Like, they make so much stuff, all good stuff. I got a bunch of chargers and things like that around here. But they're going to give us, we'll give everyone here Bluetooth speakers. So Soundcore Mini 2, which are IPX7, water resistant, 15-hour battery life, that good stuff. Soundcore Mini 2s to everyone, thanks to Anchor. So thank you, Anchor.
Thank you, Anchor.
Everyone needs a new Bluetooth speaker. The other thing to point out, again, if you're new around here, just a reminder, but we do a charity drive for a few months at a time. And right now we're doing charity drive for the Cancer Research Institute. So October, November, December, for 3 months straight, we're taking any donations during the show and donating 100% of what you give during the show to the Cancer Research Institute. So at the end of December, we will hopefully cut a fat check to the Cancer Research Institute.
Nice.
Because F cancer, as so many of you have already said in the chat. To donate, what we're talking about is basically just sending super chats on YouTube. So on YouTube, there is a little, in the chat box, there's like a little $sign, and you can click on that and it'll walk you through donating. And right now, I think YouTube's giving people lots of free money. I noticed before the show started, we had a whole bunch of super chats, some $5, some $2. Some people said they had 4 of these free things to give away. So if you haven't used your super chats, something in my eye, and you don't have another channel you want to give to, feel free to donate them. They will, again, go 100% to Cancer Research Institute at the end of December. So speaking of that, should we try to run through all these? There are a ton of these. So before the show started, Ryan Kerr 007 dropped 40 rupees, I believe, and said, thank God no Pixel 4 in India, bought a OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren instead. I gave $2 to make sure it works from our end too, so there's $2. PC 747 or Charles dropped 5, 5, 5, and 5, a full 20. It said using all my free, It said using all my free super chats, honored to be among the group of phone nerds willing to donate to to join this fight against cancer. Big ups, D-Life. Appreciate that, Charles. And then we had Sarah Washington drop $2, so $8. Says now y'all actually have a chance at trivia and F cancer. Nick Fisher then dropped 4 $5 donos also. Said, anyone know why they're giving 4 of these away? I actually don't know.
But I like it.
Yeah, we like it though. Tyler Valinga with $2. Appreciate that. Alex with 2, spread the love. Very cool. Alan with 2 says, wow, I have 4 free super chats. Gonna use them here. We appreciate that, Alan. I'm still going here. There are so many. Ben Jacobs.
No show today, folks.
Bad News Brown with $5 says F Cancer. George Davis with $2. Brandon with 2. Jay Reese with 2. F Cancer. I love the Droid Life crew. We love you too. Robert Merrill with 2. Appreciate the work you two do. Brandon Slakehouse $2. Tyler Valinga again $2. Brandon Slakehouse I gave it 2. And it's just roll. Oh, Tyler again with another 2. You guys are wild. Nate Clemens with $5. RCS is here. It's happening. Dog gift.
Yeah.
Lens with 2. Brandon with another 2.
I'll see you guys later. I'm out.
Yeah, this is pretty wild.
Thank you guys very much.
And yeah, again, if you're new around here or haven't seen a show in a while, we've upgraded some things. So like on the screen as you donate those super chats, you should see those pop up and say your name, give you a little bit of recognition. Calvin Clark with $2. Hi guys, great cause. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats.
With the little doggy.
With the little doggy swimming. Yeah, little doggy swimming.
He's swimming in cash now.
He's swimming in donation. Jody just dropped 10 pounds. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Jody.
Woo. Yeah. I don't know if we should start or what, but this
over
is
10 minutes in. Might as well keep the train rolling.
We are 10 minutes in.
I'm ready to talk about Android if you're ready to talk about Android.
All right, we can talk about stuff. So Kato just dropped 20 what is that again?
Kroners.
No, that's the Swedish kroner. 20 Swedish kroner. How about some Swedish kroner? Oh, it says it right there.
He gave you the.
He did give me the heads up, but I should have read that first. And then Timothy just dropped $2 as well.
Oh, I like your name.
I was gonna start, but this is pretty wild.
And
what a wild start. What a wild start. Okay. We'll catch you guys as we continue along here. If we have to catch up, we will. So Motorola Razr was announced this week. Tyler Valinga, another $2 says Mellow. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Mellow. Yeah. Portland Trailblazer news there. Okay. I'll try to focus.
Thank you.
There's another one.
It's fine. We'll get to it. Okay. Don't worry, Xavier. We see you.
We see you, Xavier. So Motorola Razr. Motorola hosted an event in LA that we talked about last week that we were not invited to.
Nah.
So they hosted an event with, people they like apparently. And they announced the Motorola Razr. So they've brought it back from, well, I shouldn't say, it's kind of weird, right? So they brought back the flip version of the Razr. We've had plenty of Android Razr phones from Verizon. Some were okay, some not so good. Whatever. There's been multiple Razr Maxes, Razr Max HDs that they kind of like helped lead that sort of silly name thing that was going on there. But this is the flip phone. So Motorola's first foldable. They've been teasing this for quite a while. They actually said way early in the year, like, look, we have a foldable coming. We won't be late to the party. It's probably going to be a foldable clamshell style. We don't want to do the tablet style. And so they showed it off. And it's coming. Well, you can pre-order it December 26th. And then it arrives January 9th, I believe. January 6th, 9th, somewhere. Right when we get to CES. Maybe you and I will finally touch it then, Tim. We'll finally get our hands on the Moto Razr at CES.
If they let us, maybe they'll see us and be like, nope, not those Droid Life guys.
Block them. Get out of our booth. Actually, Motorola hasn't had a booth in a while, but
no.
Maybe it'll be our opportunity. Maybe Verizon will let us touch it. I have no idea. Yeah. So what should you know? Well, first of all, it costs $1,500. So $1,500. In the US, it's exclusive to Verizon, and it has an eSIM. So they're probably just gonna lock the hell out of this thing to Verizon. In other words, like, good luck using it on another carrier. I'm assuming it has the bands to support some other carriers. I think I've seen like bands 2, 4, 5, 6, 13. So 13 is the important one to Verizon still, but those other bands are very much on other carriers. So there's a chance you could spend a full $1,500, use it for a month or whatever their new lock policy is, and then unlock it and try to take it somewhere. You could try. We may try. I'm not really sure. So $1,500, Verizon exclusive. It's going to come to other countries, and then who knows how it's going to be purchased there. It could be carriers. It could be an unlocked version. They did not say anything about an unlocked version ever coming to the US, so it's Verizon. I think I even saw something that said it's Verizon for life, which is so weird. So $1,500 at Verizon. Specs, you need to know those, because this is kind of where the story turns a little bit here. It's a foldable, very cool. The styling of it's definitely a Motorola Razr. It looks like the old Razrs, except now it has a small screen on the front, and then it has a bigger screen that unfolds on the inside, and that's where the foldable magic sort of happens. So on the outside is a 2.7-inch screen. They're calling it like I don't even know. I should actually know this offhand. The touch screen, the touch view screen or something like that. Anyway, it's just a little guy, but it'll show you notifications. You can use Google Assistant out there. It could be a viewfinder in case you're taking selfies, because the camera, obviously when you fold it shut, points at you when it's in folded mode. Then you unfold it, 6.2 inch plastic OLED HD resolution, so not 1080p. It's actually 876 is kind of where it maxes out at, so just a little above 720, not 1080. So plastic OLED that folds. Qualcomm Snapdragon 710, a processor that by the time this phone launches, we're pushing close to a 2-year-old processor there. 128 gig storage, no SD slot, 6 gig RAM. So hey, we're at least at Pixel 4 RAM there. 2510 milliamp hour battery with 15 watt turbocharging, a single 16 megapixel camera that you will use to do the bulk of photo taking. So selfies when it's closed, flip it open to take shots, 16 megapixel, no optical image stabilization, only electronic image stabilization. It's f1.7. There is also, when you flip it open up top, there's a little 5 megapixel camera because you have it open and want to take a selfie, but I don't know why you would ever use that. Bluetooth 5. USB-C, no headphone jack, does have NFC, which we point out because Motorola pulls NFC from a number of their phones in the US. Fingerprint reader on the little chin hump thing, bottom firing speaker, splash-proof, water-resistant nano coating, which they put on everything, which means it's not waterproof, and it comes in black. It's plastic, I believe, too. I don't think this thing's like all made of metal. In the box, you get a cool looking box, first of all, and then you get USB-C earbuds in there. I think a 15 watt charger. Sort of the story. So, my computer behind just beeped. $1,500. Not a 1080p display. Single 60 megapixel camera with no stabilization, no optical image stabilization, I should say. No SD slot, only Verizon exclusive. What do you think?
Well, there's probably not going to be any shortage of people that says this phone sucks, but I think, if I could just, speak freely here and like without,
please.
Yeah, with no judgment from people, I think the phone looks cool. It's my favorite implementation of kind of like the foldable design so far. Like, I didn't want, while I appreciate what Samsung did with the Fold, how it kind of goes into a tablet, I was thinking more like, compactability, where I could have a smaller device in my pocket and then fold it kind of like that clamshell style and then get a larger device. Is it weird? Yeah, for sure. Like I'm curious how, watching a YouTube video will look on it or something, like or gaming on it, which I just don't even think you're going to do unless it was like Flappy Bird, like a vertical game.
Right.
So there's weird things about
Bird's phone.
Yeah, it's a Flappy Bird phone. So, but $1,500 for, and the specs you ran down, I mean, that's certainly not ideal. And in early 2020, you would want to have, some better specs for $1,500. However, it's a foldable phone, and I'm sure the technology that goes into that and the R&D and the develop whatever, it costs a lot of money, and Lenovo wants to recoup a little, possibly. I don't know. I mean, that's up to them. There's not going to be a shortage of people who are going to buy this thing. I don't think there's a lot of people, that nostalgia factor, people who own the original Motorola, or those poor souls, those early adopter people, who are like, gotta have it.
Do you think people will buy this thing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's those people who just have money and just
people did buy the Fold, so I guess nothing should surprise me. And knowing the early history of the Fold, people did buy that thing. I still don't think you can buy it anywhere. It's sold out. But anyway,
yeah. I think it will sell. Yes. I think it's going to be actually quite hard to come by, because unlike the Galaxy Fold, the Moto Razr has like that cult following. I mean, people loved the original Razr.
Yeah.
So, and we know that it's a valuable brand simply because Motorola and Verizon tried to cash in on it once before with the Droid Razr line. And, they kind of botched that. The original one was all right, but then they just sort of kept kind of, tweaking the Razr. It was just never a really good phone. So that Razr name holds value. And it's a freaking foldable. Like it looks cool.
It looks kind of cool.
it's my preferred implementation of sort of like the folding tech. So instead of a tablet, you get a smartphone. I'm excited about it.
I think before the Galaxy Fold came out, I think and before I got my hands on it, my thought was what you just said is I think I don't care about the tablet thing. I want a tiny phone that unfolds into a phone. Then I played with the Fold though, and we called it, the king of couch phones. And I still to this. So some guy earlier this week asked me on Twitter, like, I'm thinking of buying the Fold. Please talk me out of it. And I kind of said to him, like, I'm not going to do that because I kind of miss it. I kind of want one. I like, because when you're sitting on the couch, which I do a lot, open phone to this cool little tablet, pack it back together if you want to go. Whereas if I was, and I work at home, I'm at home a lot, right? And if I was a kind of guy that was maybe on the go more, where I needed a tinier phone that just unfolded into a bigger phone, that would make more sense. But I'm not really an on the go guy. I'm in the cave a lot, so I'm kind of the opposite now. Although I'm with you, it looks cool. Like there's something about it that just makes you that just makes you want to own one. And I don't really know why that is, because we just talked about the specs and the price, and it doesn't really make sense to actually buy, other than you go, that's kind of cool. Like it's the old Razr and it's got modern stuff and you can fold it. Like that's kind of cool.
It's because that one time a year where you leave the house, you go to a restaurant or something, and you pull that thing out and you flip it open with the wrist, and people are like, "Holy mother!" And then
you got the extra skinny jeans on, and you're like,
The people are gonna know that. Yeah, people are gonna know that you're the man, and it's cool to be the man. So
especially if they see you pull it out initially and go, that guy has a flip phone, and then he's got a flip phone.
Oh,
I got a what?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is not your grandpa's flip phone. No. So I think it's cool. It's fine to say it's cool. Yeah, the specs suck, and because we're all super elitist here, we have to trash it for that and say it's overpriced. But damn, dude, it's a foldable. It's a flip phone. It's $1,500 is pretty reasonable for a foldable these days compared to the Huawei Mate X and the Galaxy Fold. So hey.
The only thing with those phones is they have all the specs, right? The Galaxy Fold, as fragile as that may be, it had the fastest storage available, the best processors available, like 12 gig RAM. The display is not sub HD. Like the little mini display on the front of the Fold, I think was HD, and people were kind of mad about that. But you unfold it to this quad HD thing, whereas this Razr unfolds and it's still just HD. So like the Galaxy Fold was $2,000, but it had everything. On that note though, the fragility.
You got it.
Motorola doesn't appear to be that worried about this thing breaking.
Yeah.
They said it has a splash resistant nano coating. And they apparently didn't tell any of the media there, like, look, you can't press too hard. Like, remember we all laughed at Samsung when they said the Fold, you can't really press hard. You might put a little nail ding in there if you dig a nail, all that stuff, which meant maybe I shouldn't use this thing. Motorola doesn't seem to be that worried. They're like, you can fold this thing, you can splash a little water here and there, and you should be good. So that's good news.
I love, as Mitchell Weisberg in the chat says, you love the idea of this phone. And that's absolutely correct. I love the idea of this phone. Could it be a little better? Yeah, sure. Could it be cheaper? Of course. But I think, this is just one of those steps where we get to that. One day we're going to be all walking around probably with foldable phones.
Probably.
And because of the graphene batteries and that Samsung are building and all this stuff, like everything is going to be bendy and awesome, and one day we're gonna get there. We just have to take these baby steps, and we have to say everything sucks. That way the companies know, hey, here's what the people actually want. We got to make it better, etc., etc. So we're getting there.
I know this is a big step. This isn't even a baby step. This is a big step. It's the old Razr, and it folds, and you open it, and they put in like an old school mode or something you can toggle on that turns the inside display into a screen that looks like the old Razr with the bad keyboard and stuff. Like they actually did some funny things like that with it, right?
That's sick.
Yeah. So they did some fun stuff. the specs aren't there and the price is too high, so I don't know that most people should consider this, but it's still pretty cool. Like, I can still admit that I want to at least play with one for a while. I don't think this is the phone for me just because of all that stuff. Like, the Fold was fully spec'd. I could play with that thing all the time. And again, at the couch phone, this thing, like, yeah, it's cool, but...
So this thing, you know, I also see it that it does not need to have high-end specs, right? This is not a gaming device. It's not a device built for gaming. It's not a device built for tons, I would assume, not a ton of multitasking, just because the display is, you know, and it's a poor resolution compared to what else is available. And plus, with that aspect ratio, it's a little awkward, I assume, to play apps on. So it really doesn't need a lot of power. The problem with that is when you don't give us a lot of power but still charge $1,500, that's where things get a little wonky. But can we all just like agree that this is like the best looking hardware wise? And it folds completely. It's not like the Galaxy Fold that doesn't freaking have a, you know, little acute angle going on when it's closed. It closes completely like that. I mean, that's right there worth at least $1 million.
And think about all of the time Samsung spent talking about its hinge at the Fold unveiling, and later on how they had to redesign the hinge because it was letting dust in, and it still had that giant gap. Motorola took this tiny little clamshell and it actually folds. Like, they're doing a kind of a cool trick where, like, as it folds, the display kind of like sucks backwards and some plates like move out of the way to make room so it can fold flat. But it's like Motorola, and they said they worked with Lenovo's engineering team, I think, when they did that. But
of course,
it actually folds flat.
It's sweet. I love the idea of this phone. Shout out to who said that again? Mitchell. Yeah, I love the idea of this phone.
Yeah,
we'll get one.
So cool stuff. Yeah, we'll have one at some point. Yeah, we're not apparently not from Motorola, but we will find a way. We find a way. We usually do. So you know, it comes out in January. There's plenty of time. Hopefully, as they seed review units to people, they don't break in like a day and a half. I would hate for that to happen. But either way, it's kind of exciting. I mean, these things are fun, right? It's like the future is starting to take shape. We're taking steps.
I really hate that. Can I say? So, I hate when we keep saying the future is now or the future is here.
I didn't say it's now, damn it.
Oh, no. I'm just saying.
5G is not here. 5G is not here.
There are other people maybe in this industry who keep saying the future is now or the future is here. Too, it's like, it's just a cliche. I hate it. Yeah. And you know what's really funny is I'll give you guys a little sneak peek into Kellen's life. He's probably internally freaking out right now because we can all hear that beeping in the background from his computer.
I'm going to fix it right now.
He's inside ripping his brain out. Oh, man. And fix. Yeah, you can breathe.
Oh, that was pissing me off.
Relief. I can tell.
That was pissing me off. Okay, I'm back.
Nice. But yeah, really so
5GE is here. That's right.
5GE. The future is here. The future is E.
So yeah. On that note about the future, we just have people showing us where we're going. Is what I'm saying. Because, I don't think
of course.
We're not at a point where, like, no, you should all go buy this foldable thing that costs $1,500. No, you should not. But it's cool, and it shows us where we're going. So, yeah.
It's the future.
Did we run a poll on this? No, we just asked what's the price where it makes it sort of worth buying. Yeah.
Exactly. Like this phone, a lot of people are saying, $1,500. All right, so what price, would you say? I mean, for me, I already, of course, personally, $1,500 seems a little steep just because I'm not going to go out and spend my own money. But like, if it was $1,000, I might like consider it maybe a bit more. $1,000 would almost seem like that sweet spot for a foldable device.
For a first gen?
For a first gen. Ben Jacobs says 500 or less. I mean, good luck. Like,
it's realistic.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. At least for a while. So, he says I'm cheap. Yeah, no, I mean that's fine.
Sense,
Maybe on Black Friday, 3 years from now, you might be able to get the Razr foldable for $500. It's totally possible.
I just hope that next year, or even if it's the year after that, when we get the second version of all of these, that hopefully they don't stick to this price tier. Like, hopefully they go, all right, we fixed it, And
It's gonna
now
be
it's easier,
cheaper.
and it might be cheap, but it's not going to be, right? We're going to go like two
Well,
more
so
years of $2,000 foldables because they're going to go, no, no, no. We put more engineering work to bring this up to speed. Now this one really is worth two, and we're going to go, come on, you guys can't do that to us.
well, we also can't. I mean, for the past 10 years, phone prices have only gone up. Why are we assuming that all of a sudden, because things are folding now, it's the price is going to go down? I don't think. I don't know if we can really safely assume that. I feel like maybe prices will just keep going up
I mean, they
the
might.
phones are if the phones are selling out. Then obviously they're reaching the people they need to reach, and they're getting the numbers they need. Because you still can't buy a Galaxy Fold if I'm not mistaken.
I was
Those
going
things
to
are not.
look right now, yeah.
Yeah. So the
That's because I
30
think they made one batch of them, but
and yeah, which is fine, if that's what they wanted to do. But
yeah.
this phone, I could easily see this phone selling out, like just because of the nostalgia. But then if the next year, if they make it even better with the good specs, then they're like, okay, well now we actually have to charge a real foldable price, which is $2,000. It's gonna have full HD, it's gonna have dual cameras with the OIS, etc. I don't know why we have to assume that prices are gonna go down. If anything, they might go up.
I have big news.
Oh gosh, big
The
news.
unlocked Galaxy Fold
It's
is
back in stock.
Is no.
Oh,
It's
I'm gone.
it's on sale. It's $50
What?
off.
Oh dang.
However,
Oh.
it's an in-store only purchase still to this day. You can't order this thing. And well, Best Buy is telling me that there isn't anywhere within 250 miles of me that has them in stock. So it's discounted, but good luck finding one. So no, it doesn't look like they've restocked really, but they're discounted for those remaining like 2 units in Nebraska or something.
All right. Well, this is good. That's a good sign. That maybe prices will dip just a little bit.
$50 on 2,000 is not much.
Well,
So
that means demand was not met or whatever, right? So they made too many. They're like, maybe it was a total fail.
which
Who
is
knows?
weird because you can't really get them. So I'm not understanding like where the discount is necessary, but I don't know. Like I said, maybe there's just a couple in Missouri and people didn't buy them or there or something. So I don't know what price makes it worth it. It's one of those things where we're so early that they're just going to be expensive. So
No matter what.
it's like the guy that asked me on Twitter the other day, and I said, dude, if you have the money and you know that it could break at any time and don't care, like just buy one. Like that's kind of what these devices are right now. If you have the money, just do it because you have the money to buy a $2,000 phone. If that's going to be a big stretch for you, you probably shouldn't. So that's kind of where it goes. Like if the price is going to be a stretch for you, like if you're stretching to try to be a part of that near future, you probably just shouldn't. If the money doesn't matter, sure, whatever you want to do, dude.
Yeah. Charles W in the chat asks a fascinating question. Will the future of foldable go the Razr route or the Galaxy Fold route? Now, so this is where things get a little interesting. So for Android, I think they're going to go the Razr route. Android tablets and that whole experience totally sucks. And that's why I don't think the Galaxy Fold is all that awesome anyway. Like, why do you need something that big besides having a big display to watch a video on? But in terms of apps that take advantage of that type of screen real estate, not there. Apple, once they get into the foldable thing, that's going to be like iPad, folding iPads. So I've started investing in Apple now because once we have a folding iPad, stock's only going up, baby.
Yeah, I think people will make both. I think there's going to be a market for people who want the small thing that unfolds, and then people are going to want the one that's a phone most of the time that becomes a tablet. I get the argument for both of those. It's going to be weird when someone makes one that unfolds into like a 9-inch screen or something. It's just going to be really stupid. The thing I don't really want to see is Huawei's version ever become a reality. And I think Xiaomi's kind of doing this a little bit too, where it folds backwards. And so you have kind of display on front and back. That just sounds like the most fragile, silly thing ever. You're just asking for it to be scratched and broken and whatever. And I don't think I need a display that wraps to the back of my phone. I don't look at the back of my phone. I'm sure somebody will tell me that there's a good reason for that to happen.
You're dumb.
I just don't understand. I get the thing where you have a display out front, fold it in half to close up the big guy. And I also get the one where you have a little guy that unfolds into. So I think I like both. I hope there's both. I don't know that I like Huawei's version that folds around to the exposed elements. That seems silly.
I'm with you on that. I keep forgetting about Huawei's foldable just simply because, zero presence in the U.S.
Yeah, I think it's available today or yesterday.
In China.
Yeah, there's no Google Apps on or anything, and it's probably
Uh,
still almost $3,000. So
3,000. But that's
good
like
on that.
4,000 or like 40 million yen.
So
Someone could
Rig
convert
says a
that.
fold that trifolds. So I think Motorola actually talked about um, back when they first teased that they were making this razor, that they said the holy grail of foldables is the trifold, and I don't understand why. I guess because you could make an even bigger one, but that apparently Motorola thought that was the thing of all things, and I don't understand that. I think you just need to fold your phone once. If we're folding it twice, I think we're asking for even more trouble than we're already in here.
Mm.
So Motorola Razr pre-order day after Christmas, December 26th, arrives January 9th or something like that. Only at Verizon in the US. We'll get one. It'll be fun.
Hold on to your Christmas bonuses, people. Don't spend it on a fancy new pool. Griswold.
It's kind of a smart drop time because people might have a bunch of cash laying around or gift cards or whatever, and they can just spend them the next day. It kind of makes sense.
Who's out here giving Verizon gift cards for Christmas? Oh,
Can you imagine?
I would disown that family member. How dare you?
What would you do if somebody gave you a Verizon gift card?
Verizon gift card?
People might give them though to like pay bills and stuff, but if they gave it as like a gift to be like, here, go buy some accessories at Verizon. Oh, get the hell out. Let's get out of here. Jesus. Yeah, that just brought some unnecessary stress to my life thinking about a Verizon gift card. Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, let's move out of it. So in carrier news related, Google yesterday, they took a stand. And they said we're releasing RCS into the US right now. Well, it'll roll out sort of slowly, but some people have already gotten it, I do believe. So RCS is here in the US after we weren't sure Google would ever have the BALLSs to do it. They did. We probably won't ever know the full story here, but as you guys know, a couple weeks ago, all of the carriers came together. Well, I could even back up further. In June or July, Google said, "Hey, we're going to just start pushing RCS out to the UK and a couple other countries." And they said, "Look, like we could just do this, and everyone can have RCS." And we said, "Cool, do the US." And they said, we're willing to work with our carrier partners on this. And we, all said that was a really stupid idea because the carriers will never do this with you, Google, unless you figure out ways to make them lots of money doing it. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago, then the carriers all came together and said, "Hey, we figured out a way to make a lot of money from RCS, so we're going to make our own, and we're going to leave Google out." And it sounded like the greasiest thing ever. And so we wondered what Google would do to respond. And yeah, this week they said, we're giving RCS to everyone. You have to install Google's Messages app. And the rollout will take a little bit of time, but it's going to prompt you if you use that app over the next handful of weeks, probably. It'll prompt you to use an advanced messaging, which they call chat, which means read receipts, typing indicators, which are all very weird things to have in text messages. You can send high-res videos and photos, which is actually a big deal. And then your group chats, you have more control over like removing people, adding people, and some other things like that. So it's just better messaging. And it just works like over data, and you can use it on Wi-Fi and all of that stuff. So it's a big deal. Yeah, I really do wish I could know for sure. I asked them when they sent us the news. I asked them, did you guys do this sort of like because the carriers are doing their own thing? Is this separate from them? What's going on? Like you guys said, Hiroshi Lockheimer said on Twitter when he was asked about this, like we'd be willing to work with carriers. And so I asked him like, what's the deal? And here's the quote. They said, "We've been in close touch with carriers on this step and continue to work with them to provide a consistent and interoperable experience for everyone on Android. It's technically possible for us to migrate to partner RCS services, and we are committed to working with our partners to ensure that users have a great experience and are happy to interop with their service, including migrating to their service." So Google's saying like, we'll work with you, maybe. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I can't imagine either will want to give in to the other side. And so Google's just got theirs, and the carriers will have their own. The only thing that's going to suck is when the carriers roll out their own and they start blocking Google's somehow, just like they did with Google Pay or Android, Google Wallet, whatever the hell it was called. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad that Google finally did that. Like, I like it when companies stick it to carriers, because there are very few that ever get to, that have the power to. In the US, carriers have all of the power, and rarely does anyone get to say, like, Apple does a good job of saying, no, carrier, you're going to listen to us. Your bloatware, no, we're selling our phone everywhere, we're doing iMessage. Like, they get to kind of do their thing, and I appreciate that of Apple. I just wish Google would do more, and so this is a good first attempt. I won't use RCS because I use Google Voice and Hangouts, but
same, what's an RCS? I'm
happy for everyone else.
This is huge. It's not going to fix the green bubble, issue that is currently plaguing the Android and iOS friendships across the world.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Apple. We've seen a lot of people ask, like, well, does this work now with iMessage? The answer is no. Do Apple phones do RCS? The answer there is no. So there's no RCS with your Apple friends. It's just basically an Android thing. So you have to talk your friends into, like let's say, like, my wife has a Galaxy Note 10 now. She probably doesn't have the Google Messages app installed because there's probably just a Samsung Messages. Actually, I'm lying. She has that, but let's just say she's a normal person. I would have to tell her to install the Google Messages app because Samsung phones already have their Messages app. So she'd have to do that, then opt in, and then just make that her default and use that. And so that's one of those other hurdles, like, all of these Android people are going to have to overcome. Is like, well, what phone does your friend have? They have to install this. If they already do, they have to enable it. So there's, like, some things. There's like a bug flying around me. So some things they have to do to get it working. Then once they do, that's great. It's still better than where we were. I don't know if this is the most game-changing thing ever.
We're getting there.
But we're getting there.
Baby steps.
The future is near, Tim.
Yeah, I know. We're getting there. It's only, when was the first mention of RCS from Google? It's
at least 3 years ago. It was either 2015 or 16, one of those two.
So
we're almost, I think it's actually almost 4 years now. I think it was 2016. It was like in January or something, or around MWC, which I guess is February. So it was like at the beginning of the year of 2016, and so we're almost 4 years into it.
Yeah, and if you use WhatsApp like 90% of the world's population does, then just ignore.
Can I just say that I think tying any sort of messaging service to your phone number is just a really stupid idea. Well, like, why are we doing that? I don't. Maybe it's a carrier thing. Maybe it's because people's phone numbers are attached to them. But, like, you're then forever attached to a phone number. And if I leave my phone on the other side of the house and I'm sitting on a computer, there's only certain services that still let me access that. And so that's why, like, one of those reasons Google Talk, then Hangouts was so great, I thought, is because I didn't need a phone number. Like, your friend who, I keep bringing up people's friends. Let's say your child who is 14 and you're like, I'm not buying you a phone yet, but they have a Google account. Like, you could still talk to them on Hangouts through a tablet or computer, whatever. I mean, there's so many ways to talk to people without phone numbers that I think having a phone number attached to your messaging life is just a stupid idea. So anyway, just a little rant there. Pisses me off. And part of why I bring that up is because you and I are attached to Google Voice because we use Google Voice for our phone number. And then for messaging needs, we could use that, I guess, to text message, but we've had Hangouts because we made that merge or migration so long ago. I don't know. The phone number thing is just stupid. Rig says you're basically talking about iMessage. Tavera says, do you know, and how many of your friends' phone numbers do you know? That's another thing. I barely know my own phone number, right? Like, we don't know phone numbers anymore. We don't. Sure, we might have saved it in our contact, but, like, there was a time where I had a couple friends that, like, because a lot of my friends here actually are from Montana, and we all live here in Oregon now. And so when we moved from Montana, we all had 406 area code numbers because Montana has one area code. And so we moved here, and then when you move to a new place, often when you're looking for a job, maybe you're trying to date someone, whatever you're doing, you want to have a local phone number. And so you change numbers. So if people move, they might want to change numbers, and then you're screwed. Like, we should not all be attached to each other via phone number. It's just a dumb thing.
Dude, you were like, the future is now, man. That was some heavy stuff. I'm so with you on that.
Kind of out of breath now.
I don't call people, I don't text people. So yeah, phone numbers are like the last thing I think about. Plus, I have Google Assistant make all my calls these days anyway. Like I don't talk to people. It's ridiculous. And I can do all my bookings for my haircuts and stuff all online, even though I don't get haircuts anymore, as we all know. So yeah, I mean, phone numbers are dumb.
Phone numbers are dumb.
Oh, that's another shirt we could do. Just phone numbers are dumb. Hashtag like, jive is alive.
Track. Yeah, somebody needs to keep track of all these brilliant ideas we have in the middle of the show that we always forget the minute we hang up.
Yeah, come on, guys. We need your help.
Okay, so before we go on, let's catch up on super chats. Xavier, we promised we wouldn't forget about you. Dropped $5 a while ago and said DL for life. Zoltan super chatted £2, says love you guys. Mitchell dropped $10 Canadian, says in memory of my father-in-law. That's awesome. Hell yes, in memory of your father-in-law. Appreciate that so much. Chris S dropped 5 and then another 5. Very cool. Alan dropped 2. Says I don't use their messaging app. It's so laggy. Is that Google's you're talking about? Possibly. I don't use it because with my whole rant I just went on. Thank you guys so much for all of the super chats. Again, those are going to Cancer Research Institute at the end of December. Big old donation show today. All right.
Yeah.
Should we talk Stadia briefly? Stadia, the thing that everyone loves so much that everyone's definitely going to sign up for. So Google Stadia is approaching launch. It's next week, I think, right?
19th, 9 a.m.
That's right. So next 4 days. Wait, is that a month? No. Tuesday? When's the 19th?
I don't know what today is.
I think that's Tuesday. Today's the 15th. So Tuesday, Tim and I will not be working because we'll be playing Stadia. That's such a lie.
Can't. Nobody pass. We'll get to that.
Oh, man. So, yeah. So let's run through this.
Stupid Stadia.
So Stadia is launching the 19th. And the Stadia team, as we've approached, gotten closer to launch, they kind of continue to say what is and isn't going to work or be available or the games. And we started out when did they show this off? In March or April, somewhere around there. And they presented this experience. You have this sweet controller with a Google Assistant button and screen capturing and immediate sharing and streaming to YouTube and all this stuff. And their controller in this Founders Edition that you pre-order, you're the first to use it. You get a buddy pass so you could bring a buddy along for the ride. It was going to work on everything. It was huge. And then as we've gotten closer, the Founders Edition controllers, most people won't have them day one. Like Google should be shipping them today for Tuesday, right? Overnight freaking shipping. So no one's going to have them because they said, look, we're not going to be able to ship them out like all at once, which I don't even know what that means. And so you may not have your controller. So then how are you going to play games? Do you just have to hope to have an Xbox controller laying around?
Well, you could still play on your Chromebook or, on your Chromebook.
So you could play on your Chromebook. Okay, so 19th rolls around, you can play with something, not a controller from them because it will be late. Like ours is scheduled between the 20th and 21st. And I was probably one of the first people to order, I'm assuming.
So you got your order in nice and quick. Yeah,
still 2 days late.
You can play with certain, like if you got an Xbox One S controller, that would work. It has Bluetooth.
That's right. I do. I have a white one right there.
Yeah. So if you have a white Xbox One X controller, you can play. And, of course, there's like Mad Cats or there's a whole bunch of stupid Bluetooth.
Okay. So everyone will be using non-Stadia controllers to play Stadia because the controller. Okay. So we're straight. But there's like other things that they've talked about since, right? Like the Buddy Pass. Because I bought the Founders thing with the Buddy Pass so I could send it to Tim so Tim and I could play and hang out. Apparently the Buddy Pass aren't arriving for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks after launch. About 2 weeks, they said. So
about 2 weeks after launch. If you own a Chromecast Ultra, because initially the only device, or I should say the only way you can stream to a TV is through Chromecast Ultra. But if you already own the $70 Ultra, that one won't work because it's running old software. So when you order the Founders Edition, it comes with an Ultra that has like newer Stadia ready software. So you have to like replace your Ultra, and they'll update the old one soon. We don't know when.
We don't know when.
Okay, so that's like a thing. To play, you have to, if you're not streaming to a Chromecast, you have to wire the controller into your phone or computer or tablet or whatever, because there's only Pixel phones at launch, I believe, and Chromebooks or something. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, I don't even know what Stream Connect and State Share and Crowd Play and things are, but they're not there. The achievement system happening in the background, right? Is that what they said?
Yeah, so you won't have like a visible achievement system at launch, but because this is Google and they track everything, the games in Google are going to track the achievements you unlock. And then once the achievement system rolls around, the Stadia team says you're going to get like 1,000 notifications for all the achievements you unlocked throughout your previous gameplays. So that should be cool. She's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like getting a bunch of achievement notifications all at once. I was like, that sounds like an effing nightmare to me. But oh man, that's Stadia.
If you play through a game and don't get any of those things, and then you get done, and it comes back and goes, well, here's all these achievements you could have done while you were playing, and then you have to go back and like oh man, what a disaster.
Well, that would suck. But...
yeah. So a lot of the fancy features they showed off, not there. Yeah, it's and then what? 12 games at launch. What we're expecting.
So 12 games at launch. I mean, you get Red Dead Redemption 2, so that's cool.
I mean, get it? What do you mean? Like that?
You're gonna have free? Streaming access to it. Yeah, well, only the Pro subscription is available, because the free doesn't even launch until next year. So these games will be available at launch for people to stream free of charge.
So Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Guilt, Just Dance 2020, Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead Redemption 2, Thumper.
Riggs is saying you still have to buy it. I was under the impression that the games that they're launching with are for the pro users just to stream. Not that you actually have to buy them separately. I guess that would make sense. But...
some of the games you for sure have to buy separately. I know they're going to give some free for a time. Like, I think Destiny, everyone just gets to play, I think.
But well, yeah, who bought that? But, yeah.
But I wouldn't doubt it if Red Dead Redemption you have to buy separately.
Okay, well, Stadia blows. I figure they're just gonna let people stream it.
No, that's
you're already paying.
It's not like
Netflix,
right? Like you don't pay, like you pay the streaming fee. Yeah, so I can't like when you pay, what they're doing is giving you like a better connection. I think like higher streams and like there's a couple of things like the things you get aren't really great, except, and then there's supposedly, I think, going to be a library of games you'll get somewhere down the road that will like be a part of that. I think I wrote this up someday, but it's been so long and they keep taking it all away that I can't really keep track.
Well, regardless, it's 12 games at launch, but then another 14 coming by the end of the year. One of those things that kind of like irked me about something that a Stadia executive said recently was that the cloud, no game developer was really going to take full advantage of the cloud until a few years into this.
Yeah.
Like, oh Jesus. So like I just don't see what the early adopters are getting besides early access to a Chromecast Ultra firmware. Sure, to your name. Like, it's not worth 100. I know for a fact that Destiny to the collection is not worth $130, and you're getting a controller that has a Google Assistant button. Like, y'all getting scammed, and that's just first adopter, life in general, I suppose. But I think
this is what you get. This is what you get.
Cool.
Stadia Pro, $10 a month. You get 3 months included for free just because you buy the Founders Edition. After that, then it's $10 a month. You get up to 4K resolution, whereas the free you only get up to 1080p. You get 60 frames per second on both, so that's fine. Sound, you get 5.1 surround and only stereo in the free. With both ones, you can buy games whenever you want. With Pro, you get Destiny 2, the collection, free. With the other one, no free. And then you get a Stadia Pro exclusive discount on select game purchases with the Pro and no discount with the free. So like Red Dead Redemption, he's probably right. You probably will have to buy that. You might get a discount.
Those games are old. They should already be
I know.
discounted if you have a console or PC. Red Dead just launched for PC. I'm not sure what the price is because I don't follow, but it's not a new game. Like these games have been out. I think it's only launching with one exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, Krell or something that doesn't even look interesting. Looks like a little kid's game. I don't know, man. I consider myself a gamer, and like none of this interests me whatsoever. And like that's sad. And like, and
Yes.
I've been venturing out, man. I'm not just playing Call of Duty like I used to back in the day. I was playing Apex. I've been playing Minecraft. I've been playing a whole bunch of stuff. I wanted to play a baseball game, but PlayStation has the exclusive apparently to every good baseball game. Hate my life.
That sucks.
Stadia just does not sound all too good for gamers. And the fact of the matter is like, Stadia or these cloud gaming platforms will take off once the streamers are onto it, right? Like hardcore gamers aren't using these things because it's just not, it doesn't make any sense for them to. I
No.
get like you have access to it. I just don't understand how many people, I guess besides Google employees, are constantly traveling around the world and need to game on their Chromebook device. Like I don't understand who this is for. I know people are still worried about ISP, like the data caps and all this stuff. Google said, "Oh, we're not even concerned about it." Like, I don't get what we're streaming 4K 60 frames a second AAA titles from the cloud. You're not worried? It just there's something weird going on here. I'm on to you, Google. Where's my tinfoils around here somewhere? All I'm saying is I think Stadia is a ripoff. It keeps getting worse and worse as we get closer to launch too. That's what sucks, Like
It keeps getting
so
worse and
hyped for
worse.
it. I was excited to get my little buddy pass on and like, okay, like I'll check it out. Like maybe you and I could play Red Dead Redemption together. Like, oh wait, apparently I have to buy Red Dead and my buddy pass isn't coming for weeks after launch. Like, what's the point? I want
Yeah,
to choose my name too. I feel like I'm getting shafted and I didn't even buy it. It sucks. Stadia.
oh man.
The name sucks too. Like, let's. It's not a great name.
I mean, you can just keep going. I talked
Eh,
about phone numbers. You happy? This is your Stadia moment.
I guess, man. We did. We ran a poll.
We did run a poll. We asked if people are signing up.
Yeah, and how many people do we got signing up for that? Let me just guess. I'm gonna go 85% said no.
You're actually wrong. Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
33% said yes. Like a third of readers say
Huh,
yes. 52%
that's
said
pretty good.
no, and 15% said they haven't decided quite yet. That's actually a high number. I think the 33%.
That's pretty
Hey,
good. And
it's
I still see people who are excited for the launch, and
yeah. I've
I
seen some
hope
people
they
too.
are excited, man, because they spent $130 on nothing.
On
Sorry.
founders. I think what
Oh yeah, you get
Google
their name.
presented months and months ago looked really cool. It
Yeah.
just seems like we're really far from that vision happening. And that's what's so frustrating. We're railing against it because we're 4 days away, and Google told us one day ago that
Yeah.
we are not getting any of what any of us paid for. And not only that, the founders people who are supposed to be your earliest adopters who are there to basically say, like, I'm staking my claim as a part of Stadia. You're not even rewarding them with their stuff the day it launches. Like, that's really crappy.
Yeah, this is Google. And like and the thing is that when the Stadia team did this Reddit AMA, they're like, "Well, we can't control the traffic lights or the post office trucks. Like that has anything to do with making sure I
You
get
can
my
control when it
package
goes
on
out the
launch
door.
day."
Yeah, it should have
Exactly.
shipped
Like
today.
it really should have, and they
Yeah,
should have guaranteed that people would have it on launch
yes,
day. If you're paying that kind of money and you're Google,
100%.
you got I don't know. You got enough money, I think, to guarantee that people get their stuff regardless of traffic lights.
Yeah, that's a really
And that
terrible
was
excuse. Now I'm
yeah,
mad that they said that. That pisses me off. No, ship it earlier. Because, again, mine has not shipped, and I was probably one of the first people on the planet to order the damn thing. And ours is consistently showed arriving the 20th to the 21st. And I'm assuming everyone else that got in super early is saying the exact same thing. They could have shipped them earlier.
they made it sound like it was totally cool because as long as you pre-ordered, you're gonna get your code
You do
on
get a code.
Tuesday. The
Yeah.
servers are gonna go live at 9 a.m. and you'll be able to access Stadia from your Chrome browser on whatever computer you got on your
Yes.
Chromebook. makes me sick.
So I will get my code Tuesday, and
The game selection
I don't
sucks.
know what I'm gonna play. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, if the
What am I
games
gonna
were
play?
cool, like if they were getting some freaking exclusives or something, they don't even have. So I looked on Twitch. I checked all the titles that they're gonna offer. In terms of popular games in the world, they don't have one in the top 24. So they had the 24th most popular game.
What was that?
I can't remember. It was
Mortal
I can tell
Kombat?
you.
I don't even know.
No, it wasn't Mortal Kombat. I won't be able to remember right off, and I dare not launch a Chrome tab because my setup is not built for that.
That
But
is true. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, they just don't have a lot of those big kind of popular games that people at least enjoy watching gameplay, let alone playing. So
Yeah, I don't know which of those I'd play, but I'm really picky in what I play. So I don't know. So
you can
we'll
ride
see.
a horse in Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, that's
too.
probably
That'd
what
be
I'll
cool.
do. I just don't. We'll see what the discount is, right? That's going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
If the discount's 40% off Red Dead Redemption 2, sure, I may pick it up. If it's $5 off, no. I just won't play anything. I don't even know what Destiny is. Okay, so next topic then, let's talk a little bit about Google and checking accounts. We can make this quick, but Google, through a story, I believe in the Wall Street Journal, reported that Google wants to launch a checking service, which is a little weird. But they're going to use Citigroup, Citigroup, and a credit union that's at Stanford, small-ish credit union from Stanford, and they're going to launch a checking service. So you could sign up for a Google checking account.
Yay.
And it's currently codenamed Cache, CACHE. And then that will give you a checking account, and then that will tie into Google Pay. So through Google Pay, you would apparently have access to your checking account. I know there's other online banks, like as simple as. Are you still with Simple? And there's still like an online checking account company, right? So it'll probably be similar. You'll have it through Google Pay. Okay. I don't really know what to think about this, because changing banks never seems like something fun to me. So usually, like, you get with a bank or credit union, you just kind of stick there for years. And that's why you just kind of said, yeah, unfortunately, I'm still with Simple, because it's kind of a thing we just don't do. So if Google launches a checking account, I'm like, okay, great. I can't imagine I would change to that. So we all think they're doing it because there's lots of valuable data in your financial transactions, and they already had to say, like, we're not going to sell any of that for ad purposes and blah blah blah. But I'm just like, people already don't trust you, Google. I don't think people are going to run to sign up for your checking accounts.
Poor Google. They're just trying to be the nice guy. They're probably trying to give people like a 5% interest rate or something on basic checking accounts, and here's people like, you just want our data. You guys are mean. You guys need to be nicer to Google. They're trying.
They're a data company. That's all they do. Like, that's the
They're
thing.
a data mining
Every
company.
time they come out with something, people go, dude, what data are you going to get from this? Like, just tell us. Just tell us.
You're buying
decide.
Fitbit? What data are you getting?
Yeah.
They just want your heart rate and, like, the calories you're burning and all that. It's no big deal. Come on.
Unreal.
Who cares?
Yeah, so I don't really have much else to add there. Google's apparently making checking accounts, and they'll launch next year. When that happens, we'll tell you guys if it's worth it.
I'll probably get it just because, like, I mean, Google, they've got everything in mind. I'm ready to get over Simple. Yeah, as long as Google Bank or whatever, I don't care.
Bank.
As long as GBank has support for Samsung Pay, then I don't care, because Samsung Pay is all in one really needs.
It'll only be exclusive to Google Pay, probably. Like, you're just
that would suck. And as long as I find out that their partner bank or whoever is not an investor in the Keystone Pipeline, then I'll jump on board.
It's a credit union at Stanford, so it might not be terrible. I don't know about Citigroup, though.
Citigroup, yeah. They sound like one of those
question
companies
mark.
Best to avoid.
Yeah, they sure do. Okay, so final topic before we get into trivia. Disney Plus is here. Disney Plus, the most hyped product launch I can think of I'm talking like across all of tech, right? Like,
the world.
There's been Folds and S10s and Pixel phones and Google Homes and whatever, right? All these things launch. I can't tell you, like, Disney is just a different thing. Like, they control a lot of everything, I feel like, as far as media. And it's here. And when it launched, it was kind of a big deal, I feel like. It's out. It's $6.99 a month. There's also a bundled package where you can get Hulu and ESPN Plus. I think that's $12.99 a month. I think that one is. I just have the $6.99. I locked into that thing for like a 3-year period when there was one of those deals where you could get it for like 40% off. So I saved like, I don't know, $150 or something. And you know, my kid will watch all of this stuff religiously. So it's here, but now that it's here, does anyone still, like, are you still excited about
Oh
Disney
my
Plus?
God. Dude, every night I've been watching something new, man. So first of all, I've already watched Mandalorian episode 1 twice.
Yeah, I should
So
rewatch it
good.
again too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just love it. Like please let me know in the chat when it's totally cool to talk about spoilers. Like if you haven't seen the show, maybe you should just log off for the next 5 minutes. But
Yeah,
no,
we probably should not spoil at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
should not do that.
So Disney Plus is great. You know, I haven't watched a lot of those old movies. You know, some of them might be a little racist. But so I haven't seen a lot of these movies in a long time. 101 Dalmatians, especially, you know, just all these old Disney movies, all these old Pluto cartoons and all that. Like I haven't seen this stuff for a long time. So I've been loving this. $6.99 seems like a steal for at
Seems
least
like a
like
pretty good
what's
deal.
available, right? I mean, like I think about all the times because I didn't buy a lot of like the Avengers movies or like the superhero movies. I didn't buy into the MCU like physically or digitally. So I've been waiting for a service like this where I could access all of them. And so $7 a month for like the 4K HDR, like all this like pretty good content. Because I don't mind watching those superhero movies. I've been enjoying the heck out of it. So Disney Plus, and you know, of course, services had a hard time. The servers had a rough
On day
launch
one.
day. That was bound to happen. But in terms of overall content, I think it's good, and I think it's only going to get better. I'm a little peeved that I have to wait for each week of like the new episodes of The Mandalorian because, like, you know, if they had just dropped the whole season,
Oh yeah.
I'd be done.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's the only thing that kind of grinds my gears. Other than that, I've been enjoying the heck out of Disney Plus.
Rick says Kel's about to go on a 15-minute rant on Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus. Like it for sure. I'm glad that I signed up for this like super cheap 3-year subscription to it because it has all the like old school Disney stuff. It has all the cartoon movies and Pixar and all that stuff. And they're starting to do original content. And they have the Marvel stuff. I've never been a huge Marvel Universe fan. I've seen almost all of it, but so like the rewatchability of some of that stuff is fine. Obviously, I like the Star Wars stuff. Mandalorian seems great so far. There's like there's another show that it's like Disney Pixar in real life or something like that. That's like one of their originals that they've done. And like Mandalorian, 1 episode at a time. So right now there's like an Inside Out version, you know, the movie Inside Out of that. And my kid already thinks it's fascinating, but like the teaser picture they show is like Wall-E in real life, and he's like, "Where's the Wall-E episode?" And I'm like, "You have to wait." And he's like, "What the hell is this?" Like, you know,
what is waiting?
So I think this is not like an issue with it because I think Disney Plus is a pretty cool service. They need to upgrade some features like a list and auto plays and things you're favorite with.
Like
you need to be able to favorite things and
watch something.
Yeah, and like restarting an episode, there needs to be an easier way. Like there's a bunch of things. Anyways, they'll get to that. I think right now because it's so early, I want new content. Whereas like sure, I like to watch old movies every once in a while, but I like to consume new things and they don't have that yet. Like that's one of the things about Netflix is how many original shows does Netflix have that you can constantly watch something new that you've never seen before, whereas this we're not there yet. It'll get there, I'm sure. So I'm trying not to complain. It seems really cool. I love it that there's an app on every single platform. Like it was on Android TV the minute it went live. Right. It's on the phones. The apps work pretty well. Like I said, there's just some things they need to add to them, but it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, it's always fun too. It's sort of like when Pokemon Go came out. To see like the world unite around something and go at the same time, like this is cool. Cause that doesn't happen very often. You know, we live in a pretty shitty world half the time. This is one of those things where people have come together and gone, yes, Disney Plus, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm actually pretty excited. And like, for sure, I've signed up. There's some things I would love to see happen, but that'll just take some time. So yeah, no
Yeah.
ratings. I'm not ranting about it. Damn it.
Jazz 43 in the chat says no one's mentioned to the entire Simpsons series. Maybe if
Yeah,
this
that's
was like
true.
15 years ago, I'd be pretty hyped about that.
How
I
many
did
seasons are we
watch
in on Simpsons now?
like 30.
30?
I watched one episode and noticed that the aspect ratio was off. You know, they're kind of like they're boxing
Yeah.
something and they're cutting off the tops, and yeah, so I saw there was people upset about that. So I assume they're gonna have to go back and kind of. I assume no one watched anything. They just kind of uploaded it to the servers and said, we're good. So I think they need to go back and fix a couple of things. Other than that, and I love that
Pretty
Disney
catchy.
has to come back and kind of like, warn people like, okay, some of our stuff was like kind of racy back in the day. The Crows and Dumbo, or and then what else was there, man?
Well, so my wife was watching Pinocchio with my son, and
Oh
she was
yeah,
like, they say some weird stuff. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, they just say some weird stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's old Disney for you. Completely
yeah,
inappropriate today.
yeah. Old Disney's a good one. But yeah, so I'm totally cool with it. I'm dumb. I'm Disney Plus for life. I never really
Yeah.
thought myself as like a huge Disney fanboy, but now that I see like,
You
it
see
kind of
it
just
all.
rushes all back and like, holy moly, the Rescuers Down Under, like there's just so much good
Sandlot.
stuff.
Sandlot's on there.
X-Men original animated series, and I'm a huge fan of the animated, like the Rebels, Clone Wars. I cannot wait for the new Clone Wars to come. Anything
Okay,
Star Wars,
so that's one of those things though. New content. How
right?
long we have to wait for, like, so when some of those shows you're talking about go on Cartoon Network or whatever they're on, how long before we get to see those? So like there's like a kid show like Muppet Babies, right? Kid show. My kid likes Muppet Babies. There's like one season from 2017 on there, and there's obviously new episodes of that on the Disney network, like the actual channel. So how long before we get new stuff? I don't know. Is Mandalorian 2 out today? No, it's not, right? Next week.
I thought it was out next week, but apparently I just looked and it's on there. So
Oh
we're
my
cutting
God.
this. No trivia today. We'll catch you all later. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Peace. We're out of here.
Yeah, I thought it was next week, but okay.
I thought it
Okay.
was next week too. That's so weird.
Did you
Okay.
just check? Is it really available right now?
I just checked and it's there. Man, that's crazy.
Well, we should just get to trivia. Actually, we ran a poll quickly. Said who's subscribing. 62% of you know what's up. You said yes. 22% said no, and 16 said you don't know yet. I don't know what you're doing. Just you should probably sign up. 6-9. Oh, and if you're on Verizon, you just get it free. I'm assuming everyone knows that, but if you're on Verizon, one of their unlimited plans, you get it for free for a year. So, yeah, see, Zach Webb said his friend or his cousin got the $180 for 3-year deal. That's what I did, I think. You could like
That
sign
just
up.
seemed like a lot of money.
I know,
I
but
know you're saving
because you're
money.
gonna pay for it. Yeah.
Sure. It's just like, like upfront costs. Holy Jesus. Upfront costs are just so much harder to stomach than like a monthly cost for me. So
Yeah.
apparently we have to review a Sony phone.
Yeah, let's run through those and then we'll get into trivia. So a little while ago, Travis Halfman dropped $10 and said, "Non-smoking mother-in-law died of lung cancer. Go figure." I mean, this is why we're doing this, because cancer is that off. So my stepfather, still alive, but never chewed tobacco, smoked anything in his entire life. Had salivary gland cancer, and like had to go through a massive amount of surgeries, radiation, all of that stuff. Basically has had half a tongue, cannot taste anything really except for little things here and there. Years ago, I mean, this happened probably over a decade, and now he basically has to drink smoothies for the rest of his life and soft foods and chop things up, and it's awful. I mean, he's still alive, but so sorry to hear that, Travis. It seriously goes to people who it's fucking awful. Eddie Daniels dropped $5. Megatron, $5 said first deposit for your Google Bank account. Thank you, Eddie. We will use that wisely. Megatron dropped $2. Mark Hamilton dropped $100 and says, "In memory of my aunt and father-in-law, for my wife, mom, and brother who have fought, now review the damn Sony Xperia 5. Really appreciate that massive donation, Mark. We won't review the Sony Xperia 5, but we will make sure every single penny of that goes to fight this awful thing that is cancer. Really appreciate that.
I'm googling Xperia 5 right now.
I think we looked it up last week. Mark, did you ask about this last week too? I think he did. Really appreciate that $100 though. Everyone's
6-inch display is
$100.
kind of tiny.
Everyone's
Yeah, I
100,
mean,
2, 5, 10. We've had so many massive donations. The last 2 shows we brought in so much. You guys are gonna, we're gonna write a big fat check. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
yeah, you guys have been super generous and much appreciated.
Yeah, appreciate those donations.
Mark has spoken. Oh, hey man, I'll reach out to Sony. I don't mind. I got time.
He said yes. I did. That was last week. I remember it was brought up last week. We were talking about.
We got nada else going on right now until CES comes around. So
that is true too. All right. You got lights or something?
Do I?
I think it's trivia time. I think it is. It's DL trivia time. Tim's getting those lights fired up, assuming Nano works.
It's Mandalorian time. You guys don't really need a Bluetooth speaker, do you? Like we all got Bluetooth speakers.
Everyone needs new Bluetooth speakers. So as Tim tries to get those lights going, there they go. It is DL show trivia time. OG Droid edition today because, well, Motorola brought back the Razr. I know it's not the same thing, but it's a throwback. It's throwback time, Motorola OG Droid edition. So this week, the fine folks at Anchor have sponsored the trivia portion of the show, and they're giving away 5 of their Soundcore Mini 2 Bluetooth speakers. 15-hour battery life. Again, IPX7 water resistance. I mean, you can take these things wherever. They'll last a long time. You can get them wet, all that good stuff. Everyone who wins receives an Anchor Soundcore Mini 2 Bluetooth speaker. Thanks, Tim, for the $2. So how our trivia works, if you're live with us in the chat on YouTube, we put a question up. Tim reads it aloud. You type the answer as fast as you can. If you're correct and we see on our screen that you are first, you win. It's super simple. Question up, Tim reads, you type, hit enter. As long as you're correct and you're first, you win. And you're going to win an Anchor Bluetooth speaker today. Pretty simple stuff.
Oh, man. That guy had like a little emoji with his. Sergey with the $3 Canadian. And it's like a pair doing a thumbs up. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
I don't even see that. I see Tim with 2, Xavier with another 5. I don't see the Sergey one. I mean, I see it there, but not there. Sergey. Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Sergey. And Xavier with another 5.
Is that a super sticker? It's a super sticker, I bet. Is that a super sticker?
What's a super sticker?
So they added this thing called super stickers, like just this week, and they're just like super chats, except you get to express your thing with a sticker. Oh, I know why, because the software we use that. Yeah, never mind. It's not showing it. It's showing over here. It's a super sticker.
It's a you problem.
Yeah, it is. It's a me software problem. So yeah,
it looks awesome.
Our first super sticker.
Thank you, Sergey, for the super stick.
Thank you, Xavier, for another 5. Also, thank you, Tim, for another 2. Tim's been dropping a lot of 2s.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's DL show trivia. We'll see you guys later. It's Mandalorian 2. We haven't done it yet. We haven't done it yet. We'll put the question up. You guys answer, and you win a Bluetooth speaker, Anchor.
Goodness gracious. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. Question number 1, please.
Question number 1 is up now.
Who was the CEO of Motorola when the original Droid launched in 2009? And we are looking for correct spelling here. Who was the CEO of Motorola when the original Droid launched in 2009?
Who's gonna? Oh, there it is. Did Rashad get that?
Yeah, looks good to me. Rashad Gaddis with the correct answer of Sanjay Jha.
Sanjay Jha. Wade County right there, right behind Rashad. There. Rashad's first. Sanjay Jha. My boy. He was my guy.
My boy Sanjay. He was.
I mean, he did the OG Droid, which made his name, right? And then he, after that, it was just like bad decision after bad decision. Then he made the dock things, the lap dock, and the bionic. And then he was out, and they paid him like $100 million to go away or something like that.
Smart man.
Yeah, he probably was involved in the Zoom too. That's right. Hey, he got paid. Good for you, Sanjay.
Congratulations, Rashad Gaddis, winner
of
sweet.
That's right, Rashad. Bluetooth. He was Mr. Moto Blur.
Soundcore Mini Blur 2 speaker.
That's right, Anchor Soundcore Mini 2.
All right, question number 2, please.
Question number 2 is up now.
What version of Android did the original Droid launch with? Again, what version of Android did the original Droid launch with? We're looking for like the dessert name, or we will also take the number. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of correct answers, which is
Like a
nice.
Zach Webb.
Yeah, I'm seeing Zachary Webb with the correct answer of 2.0, aka Android 2.0, aka
That's right.
Zach Webb. He's a
That's
winner,
quick.
right?
Yeah, he's won before, I believe. Android
Nice.
2.0. Tim and I were talking about this before the show. It was like there was a little bit of drama. Remember, because it launched, it was the first phone with 2.0. And then the Nexus 1 came out like a month and a half later with 2.1. And I remember we wrote all these stories about how mad we all were that we didn't have 2.1 and where are we going to get it. And we actually looked up the tweet that Motorola sent in January 2010 that said, don't worry, you'll get 2.1 also. Because this was like the early days of updates.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it had like 40 likes, back when before I think anyone really
Before
cared
Twitter was
about
really
anything.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. 2.0.
So
That's
awesome.
right. 2.2 brought Flash. Ah, the memories. I went to
Holy
like a
moly.
couple of Adobe events. I think you did too, actually, because Adobe was really pushing the fact that Flash was going to come to phones, and it was such a huge deal, and it was such a pain. You remember you had to like install like an app and things like that to get Flash
An
to
actual
work properly?
Flash app.
Oh,
Yeah. And us spreading
So
the Flash APK was like really good traffic, if I'm
that's
not
right.
mistaken.
I forgot about that.
And don't I mean the Netflix app when we posted that thing for download, I think the internet just like
It probably
exploded.
exploded, yeah.
Yeah, we might still be riding that traffic wave from the
probably are.
OG Netflix APK. Okay, anyway, let's go on. Congratulations, Zachary Webb. Let's go with question number 3, please.
Question number 3 is up now.
What was the marketing tagline used in commercials for the original Droid? Again, what was the marketing tagline used in commercials for the original Droid? Oh, Nate Clements with the super quickness, and
Oh,
followed
yeah.
by Ben. I'm seeing a lot of smart people in the chat today.
Everybody
The
knows our
correct
OG
answer
Droid.
was Droid Does. Nate Clements with Droid Does. Congratulations, Nate Clements.
Yeah. Whole bunch of you had it really quickly, but he was
Droid.
the first on our screen.
Yep,
Droid does.
I'm loving it.
What was the whole line? It was like whatever something does, droid does. No, it doesn't.
Well, it
droid
was it was in
does.
reference to the iPhone. Like, I don't do this. I don't have a 5-megapixel camera. Droid does. That was good. I don't. Droid does. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Boomer.
right. In a world that doesn't, droid does. Rick said
Droid
that.
does,
That's
yeah.
what it was. In a world that doesn't, droid does.
Classic. All right. Well, 2 more questions. 2 more chances
Two more chances.
to win a sweet Soundcore Mini 2. Again, shout out to Anchor for supplying today's prizes. Greatly appreciated.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Kind of difficult, possibly. Question number 4, please.
Question number 4 is up now.
What was the alternate name of the original droid in Latin America and Europe? Again, what was the alternate name of the original droid in Latin America and Europe? I'm seeing the correct answer. Oh, these people know their OG droid trivia. Let's put that out there right now. It's Nick Fisher with the correct answer of Milestone. Man,
The milestone. Eddie,
I don't know
Chris,
how-
right behind him.
Right behind
Nick
him.
was first. Yeah, the milestone.
How do you guys know all this?
I don't know.
stuff?
That's a good one though. That's like some, like you gotta know. You gotta know your stuff to know that one.
Golden Hammer with the El Droido, I guess. That's
Nick
good.
says, "I know these things. I remember wanting to import one. I can't remember if we got one or not, but there was a couple of differences I thought between them that made me sort of want one as well. But
Well, I think the keyboard had a difference. It might have had an extra row, possibly, or
or
something.
the
Or the row
color
looked
of them was
different.
different too, or something.
Well, they were more silverish, right? I
It
don't
was
know.
something like that, right? Yeah. We should look
It
that
was
up.
a solid 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago.
Can't remember that.
Crazy.
All right, Nick Fisher, congratulations. Let's go with our last final question. Last chance, people. Question number 5.
Question number 5 is up now.
What chip maker was responsible for the production of the original Droid's processor? Again, what chip maker was responsible for the production of the original Droid's processor?
I don't know what
So
you're taking here. You taking TI?
I'll take Ti. I'll take Trevor McGrath. I think I got to go with Trevor McGrath, right? I mean, I think we know what Ben Jacobs was going for and trying to jump the gun a little bit. I think we got to go with Trevor McGrath on this one. Short for Texas Instruments.
Ben Jacobs just pre-typed everything that might possibly be a thing, including the
Ben,
exact processor.
I certainly appreciate what you're trying to do, but I think we're gonna have to go with just because we didn't ask for the processor, we asked for who made it. So I think
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, okay. All right. So our
Trevor
winner
McGrath.
for that one, Trevor McGrath.
With TI.
Congratulations.
Texas Instruments, yeah. The same chip they used in the Moto 360 like 6 years later or something. That's
Yeah, just checking one more time to make sure it was Trevor. Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
El Droid.
Oh man. All right. Hey, another super sticker. Oh geez.
Charles.
So winners. Feel free to email me. I'm pretty sure all y'all have won before, possibly. But if you haven't, email me. We're gonna get your prizes sent out to you. Boom. Charles with the $5 super sticker. The pair dropping the mic. Thank you oh so very much. It's so cute.
Getting in on the super sticker action. Ready?
Yeah. I'm waiting. Still waiting.
Didn't work.
Oh.
What the hell?
Access denied.
That's just not nice.
Yeah, Scott, we're done with questions.
Yeah, that's it for trivia. If you guys need to bounce.
Yeah,
usually hang out around for a couple minutes afterwards, but yeah.
Congratulations to Rashad Gaddis, Zachary Webb, Nate Clements, Nick Fisher, and Trevor McGrath. You all won a sweet Soundcore Mini 2
Sweet
Bluetooth speaker from Anchor featuring IPX7 water resistance and 15-hour battery life. If you didn't win one, but still want one of these guys, they're up on Amazon. Feel free to go grab one. Wade County asking if you guys are loving Hassan Whiteside, S sarcasm, and Riggs of course brings up Carmelo Anthony. Saw the news breaking last night from the old Waj bomb, and I about crapped my pants. It was like, oh my god, I had like a flashback to when Melo was like, a god.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago.
Yeah, many moons ago.
I think Whiteside can be fine. We all know like he's capable as long as he's engaged.
He puts up stats.
The Melo thing, I just I've never been a Carmelo Anthony fan. Like the one year he had college where he led Syracuse to a championship or whatever, that was great. But he's just, he's old. He doesn't really fit the style of the NBA anymore. He wants to play ISO, sort of mid-post ball and shoot like 18-foot jumpers. Like the NBA is three-pointers, moving the ball as quickly as you can up and down the court. Maybe a little inside game. He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't play defense either. I'm just like, he doesn't really fit. There's a reason no team picked up Carmelo Anthony, because he doesn't fit the NBA anymore. He was a great player, but he doesn't really. I don't really care. The Blazers suck. I guess whatever we can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, right. It doesn't matter. We made a lot of bad moves, I think, in the off season. So,
Yes, we did. I tried to drop 2 super chats now. They won't show up. I'm actually really mad.
Riggs is saying he's a good pickup guy at your local YMCA. Yeah. Except he's like jacking up shots and not dropping them. Like he's like, you're like, why do you keep shooting it? Pass it. Ugh.
Yeah, he's just not good. It's not.
What else was I
gonna
say?
Gonna help or not?
Oh, let's so before I dip out and go watch Mandalorian, let's go over all of the show's donations, which could take us a solid half hour.
Yeah, it won't let me. I keep trying to do them. It must be like you can't do that to your own channel or something. You can't give money to yourself. I'm not sure.
Good. You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Well, I know, but I was trying to just add to the pool of cash. I guess I can do it from like my personal account. We'll log into that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do donations again before we get out of here?
Yeah, I would love to, but I can't access that far back in the chat. So if
Okay.
you could, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Ryan Kerr dropped 40 rupees. We dropped $2. See, it let me back then. Charles dropped 20 in 5 different increments. Sarah dropped 8 in $2 increments. Nick with 20 in $5 increments. Tyler Valinga I know a couple. Alex with 2, very cool. Alan with 2, Ben Jacobs with 1, Bad News Brown with 5, George with 2, Brandon Slykehouse with, I know he at least had a handful of $2 donos, Jay Reese, Robert Merrill, there's Tyler again, Nate Clements with 5, Lenz with 2, Calvin with 2, Jody with 10 pounds, Cato with 20 Swedish kroner, Timothy with 2, Tyler again, Xavier with 5, Zoltan with 2 pounds, Mitchell with $10 Canadian, Chris with a couple of $5, very cool. Alan again, Travis with $10, Eddie with 5, Megatron with 2, Mark with the big dono, $100, Tim with another 2, Sergey with 3 Canadian, Xavier another 5, another 2 from Tim, Charles with another 5 to sort of round us out. A lot of donos there. What a show. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row we've had just a wave of these things, but this might be...
This might be our biggest show. This might be our biggest show easily. Yeah, and Zoltan is a boss name.
It is a boss name. Charles says, add it all up and how much for this show being donated to. Good guy. There isn't an easy way for me to just grab whatever the total is for this show. I can, after. I think it takes a couple of days to show up in my analytics board. Chaz, $5. Appreciate the $5, Chaz. Yeah, we will definitely. I feel like because we've had so many huge ones, I should try to give you guys an update as to where we stand. Because it's a lot. Jody says, can you total it? Right now, just off the top of my head, I could try. But there isn't a way to just click a button and have it tell me what the total number of donations were. YouTube should be smart like that. It's not smart like that.
People keep donating, so we'll never have the actual total.
Yep. No Seeds B with $5 says thoughts on Google opening up RCS all across carriers. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. It's great. I'm glad they did. It's one of the few times Google's actually stuck it a little bit to the carriers who we all know are terrible. So yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, they're usually the ones sticking it. So I'm glad that Google gets to be the one sticking it.
Yeah, me too. Anything else you want to talk about? Or is that about it?
That's about it. Hope everyone has a fantastic, safe, warm weekend. I know we got a cold snap happening in the U.S. right now, across the country. So,
Sure do. It's winter.
Sure do. Yeah. Hope everyone has a good day.
Have a fabulous weekend, everyone. We will. We might be back next week. We'll see what happens. Again, it's that end of the year time. Things get slow. There's not a lot of big news, but we had some really fun stuff to talk about this week. So, we will try to keep doing as many shows as we can. Partly just so we can keep racking up donations for the Cancer Research Institute, because
the more the better.
It's very, very important stuff. So, all right, I'm flipping on intro song. Turn it up a little bit. Get you guys some jams on the way out. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Droid Life Show episode 219. It's Friday, November 15th. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again for all the donations. We will see you guys probably next week.
Peace.